pandemic. Meanwhile, there's this. The stimulus showdown continues in Washington. Lawmakers are inching toward the next round of coronavirus stimulus. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell saying that he is willing to support extending the $600 unemployment bonus that just expired. President Trump already supporting that plan. McConnell and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, meanwhile, weighed in yesterday.
What we're hoping for here is a bipartisan proposal. We're ready to help. And hopefully we can, as other speakers have pointed out, get rid of the $1 trillion that's unrelated to the problem.
This takes time, and it takes specificity, and we call each other back with, you bring more of your information tomorrow, we'll bring more of ours, so that we have a clearest understanding of what is going to be in the bill and what the consequences are.
Let's talk about this and the consequences. Dagan McDowell, I want to get your take. But first, let me welcome back to the program the Wall Street Journal's assistant editorial page editor, James Freeman. Good morning, James. Great to have you back.
Morning, Marie. Great to be here. Great to be back.
Yeah, let's talk about stimulus. Dagan, it looks like they're going to have to get something done. They're leaving for recess at the end of the week. They've got to come together in the next 2 days. What do you think?
The Republicans did drag their feet in addressing this issue with the $600 extra per week paid by the federal government expiring at the end of the month. The Democrats stepped up in May to pass a $3.5 trillion plan. So the Republicans are back on their heels. But clearly the Democrats are not going to go for just a fix for the $600 in unemployment benefits. The Democrats stopped an effort by 2 senators trying to pass narrow legislation last week, again, extending this extra benefit through the end of the year, albeit smaller. Martha McSally, the senator, tried to do it for a week. A no-go from the Democrats on that, because the goal here is to load up that pork pie. This isn't going to be $1 trillion. It's going to be trillions of dollars in state aid, in aid to reopening schools. Even if the schools don't reopen, there is billions and billions of dollars that was allocated earlier in the year in an earlier stimulus that has not been spent. That is not going to stop the Democrats from trying to dole out billions more.
Yeah, and you know, the argument, James, was that the $600 a week was allowing people to make more money staying home than they were making on the job, but the Democrats will not give. So it looks like the Republicans are going to have to agree to extending this $600 a week. What do you say?
Yeah, and those sound bites you played, the two parties are sounding a lot more friendly with each other right now, and I think that's bad for taxpayers and for the economy. As you said, you want incentives for people to work. If it pays more to stay home, you're going to see what we've seen to this point, which is a lot of small businesses who want to operate, who can operate, have difficulty finding workers because the benefits are above what they would make in the market. So I think we need to get people back to work, and we also don't want to give states, mayors, governors any financial incentive to maintain lockdowns. We want to have all the incentives going in the direction of maintaining the economy, which is the wealth that ultimately provides for all our health care.
And Mattie, some people, I think, running some of these cities and states would like the economy to be shut down in 90 days because you've got a presidential election, and they'd like to just associate Donald Trump with shutdown, chaos, all bad things going into the election.
Maria, you're right. There's absolutely a political angle here. But Dagan is also correct in saying that Republicans need a unified posture in order to get us to the election where Republicans can show they have a steady hand here. We are not out of the coronavirus infection yet, and that is really what's keeping a lot of the employment picture to be uncertain. So I think that Republicans need to claim victory on the UI extension here. Whatever the amount is, I think they need to move past that. What they need is to get in writing a transition off of that extended federal insurance, so Democrats can't continue to hold it over Republicans' head when the expiration comes at the end of the year or whenever that may be.
All right, let's take a short break. When we come back, we've got to get into President Trump taking his fight over mail-in voting to court.